What up boys, today I will be giving you guys an updated version to the old field macro video, and quickly before I will again, like in the old video, be doing this challenge. I will be buying 50,000 royal jelly per subscribe on this video, so make sure to bankrupt me. Other than that, I will leave a comment with the timestamps to all the fields in case YouTube doesn't auto-generate it in the comments. Other than that, enjoy! Alright boys, so second of all we got sunflower, pretty important for some resources like sunflower seeds and other stuff. Here are the settings. Take your time to copy them, I'll give you guys like 10 seconds. Alright, now moving on to the next field. Alright boys, next up is clover. I'll put the settings on screen and this is how it will be looking like. Now quick shout out to Seijo for getting me the settings. Make sure to enjoy the settings and let's get to the next field. Alright, following up we got dandelion field. I'll put the screenshot of the settings on screen right now. Just pause the video if you need to copy them. Also, shout out to Francie for getting me these settings. This is how it will be looking like. And yeah, enjoy. Alright boys, next up is mushroom field. I'll throw up the settings onto the screen right now. Shout out to myself this time because I was the one who did this one. Yeah, enjoy it. See you guys in the next field. Alright boys, lastly in the 1B zone we got blue flower. This is how it will be looking like. Shout out to Seijomon for helping me with these settings. Make sure to copy the settings on screen. And other than that, let's get to the 5B zone. Alright boys, now in the 5B zone we got spider. I'll throw up the settings onto the screen right now. Make sure to take your time to copy them so everything is correct. Also, I'll be leaving some extra settings at the end of the video, as well as some notes that can help you fix some issues that I have had comments about. But other than that, let's move on and hopefully it works fine for y'all. Alright boys, next up in the 5B zone is bamboo. This is how it will be looking like if you copy the settings that are on screen right now. Quick shout out to Ranty again for helping me with this setting. Hopefully it works well for y'all. Other than that, let's get to the next field. Alright boys, next up we got strawberry, one of the more important fields. I don't have anyone to showcase it because I made this macro. Make sure to copy it, hopefully it works well for y'all. It's more designed to pick up all the strawberries other than farming for honey, so just keep that in mind. This macro, or at least this strawberry macro, is purely made for picking up a lot of strawberries. Other than that, let's get to the next field. Alright boys, now we got pineapple. This is how pineapple should be looking like if you copy the settings on screen. This should also be the best for collecting the pineapples, and also the best for just collecting honey for quests, etc. Other than that, see you guys at stump. Alright boys, next up we got stump field. This is how it should be looking like. The macro will end up starting you in the middle though. I don't know why it's over there now, but sure, I guess. Settings on the screen, make sure to copy them. Also, just to note, this should be the best for killing snail, but should also work for just farming normally. Other than that, let's move on to the 15B zone. Alright, next up we got cactus in the 15B zone. Now quickly, a note for this one, I will really recommend you to have drift comp on for this one, which means that you will be needing a supreme saturator for this to work properly, because it's really hard to make a macro for cactus. that doesn't consistently drift off. So just that noted, it should still work alright without a supreme saturator or drift comp on. You will just have to try it out yourself. Other than that, let's get straight to pumpkin. Alright boys, moving on towards pumpkin. Copy the settings on screen. This will be your outcome if you copied everything like so. Other than that, let's get straight to pine tree. Alright boys, finally for the 15B zone we got pine tree. Now the macro you're seeing on screen is better for blueberry tokens, should also in theory work for honey. But if you want to know the best settings for honey, I'm sure there's a lot good videos that give you the best honey settings for pine tree. Other than that, copy the settings. And moving on towards mountaintop. Alright boys, I almost forgot it again, but we got row settings in the video. Let me pop the settings up on screen. Make sure you copy them exactly how they are on screen. Other than that, let's actually move towards mountaintop now. Alrighty boys, so now moving on towards the 25B zone with mountaintop. Real quick, I do not recommend macroing in the mountaintop for longer than an hour because the Mondo chicken will spawn eventually. But if you do copy the settings on screen perfectly, your outcome should be looking about like this. Now finally moving on towards the 35B zone. Alright boys, so almost at the end of the video we got coconut over here. Now as always, settings on the screen. If you do copy them, it should be looking like this. And now let's move on to the last field, pepper. Alright boys, so lastly we got pepper. Make sure to copy the settings on screen so you get this result. Now let's finally get to the external settings, or pretty much anything else other than field macro settings that can also help you fix bugs. Now boys, at the end of the video I also promised you guys to add some external settings that could also fix some issues that you guys have with your macro. Now let's start with the collect and kill. Real quick, the best settings for collecting kill is just by turning on clock, because you always want extra tickets. You do not want to turn on Mondo because that takes some time. Turn on M pass if you don't have 10 already. Now for memory match, you usually want to turn every single one, but what I do is I turn on Mega, Extreme, and Night because I don't really need the loot from normal. Now for dispensers, you always want to turn on Blueberry, Strawberry, Coconut, and Glue. Now you could also turn on Robo Pass if you don't have 10 already, although I would still have it on just to be sure you still get the Robo Pass because they're pretty hard to get nowadays. Moving on to Beesmith, since it's active right now, just turn on everything that you actually do have, although Honey Ref could also be skipped if you don't have a quest with it. Gingerbread House could also be skipped if you want to collect more at a time. You could just turn on every single one. Also, Winter Memory Match is pretty important. You get a lot of good things from there. If you're going for honey as a blue hive, make sure to turn on blue booster. For any other hive, it's not really necessary. For quests, just turn on whichever quest you need. Planners, I have a pretty good video about this, or just check out pretty much anyone else's videos about planners. I won't go into detail for these. Now for the settings, this is where you usually fix your bugs. So moving on to the movement speed over here, you want to make sure that your movement speed is the exact speed it says in your settings over here. Just scroll all the way to the bottom and then a little bit up and it should say movement speed. Also, make sure to take this number without any boost active. I have oil actives. The reason I have oil active is so I was able to test the macros a little bit better. Now move method should usually always be cannon so you get to your destination quicker. For sprinkler type, just check what sprinkler you have and put it in here. I have a Supreme, so I'll put Supreme. Now convert balloon, pretty important for any hive, so just make sure to turn it on. Doesn't take a lot of time. Now if you have a private server, make sure to put it in here because you do sometimes get disconnected. And to make sure you get into your private server, again, just put your server link here. Now before you go to sleep, you need to make sure that your hive slot is the correct one. For me, I'm free because I'm hive slot free. If you're, let's say, Franti over here, make sure to put it to hive slot 1. Also, you can add your hive bees here. And yeah. Now that is pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this updated version. Also, shout out to Franti and Sejomon for helping me with this video. Hopefully this works a lot better than my last video and this was able to help you guys out. Other than that, peace out, boys.